Hey, muy buenas noches, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. Y como siempre, muchísimas gracias to everyone for your guys' words, prayers, for your time, and your amazing support. From the Cora, se los agradezco. And before I get into the story, I want to also apologize ahead of time if I don't sound like myself, or if I pause, or you guys hear like a little breathing struggling, right? Like I mentioned, thrombosis acted up on me, and I did get that shot in the belly button already. So it's just a matter of time before I settle in. But palabra es palabra, right? So I'm here, and I'm going to be here pushing out my message and continue with my story. I know Wednesday's coming by fast, and oh, I ain't looking forward for that. But again, there's only one way to go, and that's forward, right? But to get into the story, I want to continue with my story, and a little bit. I'm gonna basically touch on what I had mentioned, but I never really touched into it on that other channel. Cause, be sincere, I wanted to throw as much as my message out there, and I really thought my time was really short. For those that have been with me from day one, right? You guys remember how I was sounding in the beginning? God's amazing. So, anyways, the the little issue with the homie Trusty had just passed by, and as always, after a storm, there's a calm. So everything was calm. But when you're holding a jardín for a pili, or it's just a matter of time before, not gonna say chaos, cause if you do it right, there's no need to go that far, right? But headaches, it's an everyday thing, right? But what happened was, I was working back in the back in Central Kitchen, and with me at this time was the homie Junior from 18, Negro from 12th Street, the homie Casper from Aslan, and a paisano, and it was mostly all brothers, right? The rest, there was maybe one or two woods. But anyways, when we were back there, I really don't know to what extent the homies from Pomona war with the Crips or Bloods, right? I don't know. I know it's real active like that, down south, and but the homie Negro, he took it to a whole different level, right? And this is the vato that certain individual, you know, praise like, well, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna start leaving other channels to do their thing, right? But anyways, this individual used to sit back there like a brother, right? Banging on the wall or X16, and he rapped, and then he wasn't a bad rapper, to be sincere. He had a well, he was okay, right? But nevertheless, he had a mentality that did not fit right with the program. What I mean by that, he was a set tripper, straight up. A couple times I had to I lined him when it came to addressing camaradas and minimizing their area, right? Like I remember one day it was like he was it was something said amongst him and the homie, Casper, and the homie Casper, he was with it, he's a little knucklehead, and they were ready to go, and then they it wasn't gonna happen, right? At least not hands on. So I really liked the homie Casper, so I didn't sideline with him per se because I had to be neutral, right? But I knew this Vato's actions when it came to to a lot of different things, right? So basically, I corrected him and told him he either needs to stop with all this, or disciplines were going to start being put on him, right? Because a few days earlier, as you guys know, we can't fight brothers, or we can't be in the presence when a raza is fighting a brother without boogieing, without us getting into it, getting in regardless, right? It's just, I know it sounds bad, but it's the way it works, right? And remember one time, the paisano Chango from he grew up in Big Hazard. His carnales are from Big Hazard, right? And he had a little disagreement with this crib they call Green Eyes from South Central, and Negro was pumping him up to go to the back and go heads up. And again, he had that dumb stilo to minimize, right? Because I was just sitting back in the scullery machine hearing them, me and Casper, and when Chango said, vámonos para allá, right? De volada yo me paré and I told him, hey, Charles, this ain't gonna happen. You know this ain't gonna happen. And I had told the vato, like, hey, you can't be doing this, man. There's no one-on-ones. And he right away went, but hey, he's a paisano, man, you got it. That's something that always angered me, at least when you minimize other raza, right? When I personally, my jefita, my abuelos, everything, you know, they're paisanos. If you want to put them in a circle, that's exactly what they are, right? But nevertheless, it was kind of because of this type of mentality is why we had that at this time, that division between us, right? But right there, this happened before what I started talking about, and I told him like, man, you need to get clecha, eh? You need to sit down and ask. There was like 20 homies from 12th Street on that yard, and you need to have them give you some clecha, because you're headed for a wreck. And anyways, that happened with Casper, and the vato calmed down, right? He calmed down. There was a little issue on the yarda that I guess he was trying to fight someone. So that time I did tell him, like, you're so eager to fight. Go ahead, get a piece, and I'll tell the other vato to get a piece, and you two make it personal, go in a cell, and just go to town on each other till you both get tired, or you can't give no more, you can't take no more, right? But all this on the yarda, you just giving our our gente room for other gente to look in and be like, you know, we always, you could say I was really into it at that time, right? Image when it came to our presentation, when it comes to other races on the yard, right? It was important. I think it had to do with my responsibility on the yard was for our gente to stand out clean, right? But anyways, that happened, and once I told him that, the vato came down. Just sincerely, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he got scared, but he seen it was serious. That it was gonna lead to him getting some steel in him, right? But then all of a sudden, one day he goes back to the central kitchen, and right on his forearm, he puts 187 crip. The minute we walked through the checkpoint to go back to the central kitchen, and I seen it, I was like, damn, you know, it's gonna go up. He was always in his rap lyrics, he was, glorifying sangres, right? So there was more cribs and bloods back there. So I remember I told Casper, and I even told a paisano and Junior, I told him just keep an eye on the vato, because they ain't gonna allow it. They ain't gonna sit back and they ain't gonna riot when it comes to this, right? Because he didn't have it on him when he was at. He tattooed it on the yard, So they're gonna take it as disrespect. And the day went by, and for some reason, he was out in front of the office, and I remember me and the homie were walking, and the alarm went off. And when we rushed over there, we knew what the alarm was. Just when we rushed over there from the scullery machine, there was already Judas intercepting us, right? And there was two cribs that jumped on the dude. So we couldn't do anything at that time. So they took out the raza, and I remember when I was going back, the homie Chato from Little Valley that I know him since YA, he yelled at me and told me like, "Hey, como hay que?" And the only thing I told him, with the brothers, see, and I just said see, and that's it. Again, we were in YA together, so we knew each other pretty good, and basically they recalled the yard, right? Nobody knew really what was happening, because I guess they kept Negro and the two cribs back there till they recalled the whole yard, right? And for some reason we went in, and right away they did unlock again. So it was bad for the reason that by this time all the camaradas knew it was time to go out and boogie time. And the Judas, they played into it because they allowed us to go in and get whatever we needed to get and come back out, right? So the minute we come back out, it was the yard went up, boom, everywhere. Cause the homie was wrong, but regardless, the way that we gotta represent the yard is our gente is untouchable. You put hands on our gente, we're gonna react. And just like with everybody, right? We gotta set an example that this ain't gonna be happening. So I remember I was in the weight pile, and the homie Mosquito from 12th Street, he was there, right? And we were getting it, and the homie had a pedazo with him. So when he rushed in, the tower that's right above the gym shot him in the head, and the homie passed out. And of course, right, it's everything's fair when you're going at it, right? So the brothers, they did a circle around him while two stamped them out. The other ones were keeping us at bay to not get in, right? So for a while they went to town, and when we actually got through and were able to pull him out, they messed the homie up, right? They messed the homie up good. They got him good, and the yard went down, and the only ones that couldn't make it out were the vatos that were short timing, that were in the gym. And I remember we were in the weight power. We had already gone down, right? Because they busted a couple times a meanie, and because the whole yard went up. Every inch of that yard went up. And when I was down, the homie Casper, he was getting ready to go home, and he was there, and remember he just seen that, and he started dancing in the gym too. The whole gym went up afterwards. The homie was a good homie right there. He had a good head on his shoulder. He was young, but he was about it. That's why it saddens me, that to hear that. Yeah, I think he got out, or I don't know when it happened, but he he lost his life to the wars that are on the streets, right? And it is mainly why I'm touching on this. It has to do with the homie. My respects to his family, man. Rest in peace. He was a good individual. But anyways, after this, of course, we went on lockdown. They took the vato negro back there, and of course, right away, also, and Sapo was still there, as a matter of fact, and right away they shot Palabra out with them two Judas, those that were in Ironwood, and here I know which two Judas that real freedom is, right? And they wanted to know what's up with the homie, and I just straight up told him, he was reckless, and he endangered a lot of homies. So I explained everything, and the decision was taken to go ahead and take him off our program. He got hit back there. That's why I laugh when that person glorified him, like, when I know this was in 1999 and Homeboy had to go PC then. But, I guess considering the same individual's background, I can see why he glorifies them. But anyways, we went on lockdown. Again, it was more on this little was more on a respect thing for the homie Casper. But we went on lockdown, and this is just the snake games that happen, right? Because I never found out if what this individual came out to the yard saying was true. Because at first there was a lot of saying that Simon, right? There was a homie from Maravilla that had gotten out, and on that 5 year inactive from the shoe, right? He was back there for a while and said he had came out with palabra for chato, and that with orders to go ahead and get the jardín for the raza, right? To set up shop, which it wasn't going to happen regardless, right? The person that was holding that yard, T from Bassett, was not going to allow it, and I knew we were going to have to dance at one point or another. The question was, what kind of tune were we going to dance to, right? Because it could be basically, we just boogie with pieces as campoleros, or you're lying and te voy a bailar un zapateado, right? Con piñatas y dulce duros, and you guys get it. So anyways, I checked with T and with Oso, and they requested for Chato to get in touch with me, right? The first time I ever crossed words with the Pili Chato, because there was, at this time, there was still that big, I'm not gonna say gap, but there was that code Maravilla was holding, right? That if you touch one of them, they were all going to jump, regardless. If they were on the yard with us, if there was a riot, they would ride with us. And me personally, on the yard, with all the camaradas from Maravilla, I had a really good communication with them, right? One is because Spooky from Ben, Maravilla, we're in YA también together, so we had an open communication, right? And so I knew this was going to bring up problems, So I was able to get palabras straight from Chato, well, from Chato's señora, right? And she told me Charles. Basically told him that Chato was upset with me. This was his words, right? Chato's upset. Why did I send Terco get on his case? Which I didn't, right? My thing was, a homeboy got here saying this, and this. What do I do? Regardless, I know what my service is. And your service is your service, and nobody could take that from you. So que llegara la brava that I'm taking over, it ain't going down like that, right? Pero if it came from above, then I have no option. I está camarada. Adelante, right? Maybe he has more clecha than I do, which I should just step aside and pay attention. But it wasn't like that. And basically it came down that now, homie has to go. And which, for those that remember, I touched on the surface, right? That after this, I went in, I packed all my stuff. There was other vatos on the mesa that were telling me, almost all those. I told them, nah, I'm not going to disrespect Maravilla like that, right? Because again, in my thought there was no need. But I really thought that once I took off on Homeboy, that the rest were going to jump on me. So I went in, packed my stuff, put my blues, went out, went out, and before the other unlock came, they were all sitting outside a 4 block. And I had told Homo, hey, dame tiempo, let me look this up, y si sí, yo te entrego todo como son las cosas, right? And he told me that day, y si no, and I just told him, y si no, luego conversamos, right? But anyways, when this happened, I was strolling in the yard. It was about to be yard inlock. So I literally, when I got to 4 block, I walked over there and I kicked him. When I kicked him, homeboy hit his head on the concrete on the wall. I just jumped on him and just started, you know. And to my surprise, Spooky grabbed one of the maravillas and told him chales, and they walked off. So I did that, and the homeboy fainted. So I did a little 2, 3, 4 times, and went in. And right when I was in shower, yard went down. And to my surprise, though, afterwards, I told Spooky, hey, camarada, you mind us taking a lap? So we took a lap, and me and him, we started talking, and he told me, like, look, fool, this was a wrong call. I told him, what you mean? Ahí están los amapiles. Read them. I made the phone call. That had came down from your big homie. That, Chato said, Chales, go ahead and dance on this cat. And he said, yeah, but he's lying. He don't want to get caught in all that stepping on Bato's toes, which he's doing it now a lot, right? With the Ayalas, which I will touch on soon. But the Bato that he had just turned his back on was a loyal soldado for this Bato since the calles. He just, again, we're still living the shoe area at this time. He did not want to start that. He did not want to sit back there and have people politic, especially with one like Terco that everybody knows you're not going to take from, dude. He's going to fight. So it turned out that, I guess what was said, Chato told him, wherever you land, try to plant my flag. Don't matter who's there. Just press that weight. Press that weight. But I guess they were in different sides of the shoe. So it was through 3-way, and homeboy misunderstood. The homeboy was told to do that, but of course do the homework and do the background on the pili that has the jardín. Which homeboy never did that. Homeboy wanted from the gate for me to step aside and allow him to do his thing. And it just wasn't going to go down like that. But this is just, I wanted to touch on this again for my respects for the homie, and to show how one individual that's, I'm not going to say a knucklehead, that's not a knucklehead, that's dumb, being caught up in all this and causing a riot that a lot of homies got hurt. A lot of homies caught shoes behind their stabbings. I'm not really sure how many people they actually, if they were waiting on board, because they have all day, guarantee they were going to get shut down. Just off of one dude that thought he was a rapper and actually took it to the heart to the point to tattoo that on him. Not once caring about how it was going to ricochet towards the rest of the raza. And that happens all day. And now it happens from these Billys straight up. They're going to brainwash you, use you, and toss you. There's no more need to have that loyal soldado that's going to take care of things and then will eventually end up in the shoe with you. But till then, you had to be loyal. They had to be loyal to that one campolero that was holding them strong. Now they're on the yard walking. They can pick and choose from hundreds, as you guys been hearing the stories. But I just wanted to touch on this. The best thing is, again, stay loyal to your neighborhood. Stay loyal to whatever you feel is loyal to you. Don't give up your lives for something that's going to be misled, lies, betrayal, and it might ruin that chance for you to do something outside of all that negativity stuff. There's nothing there. If there was honor there at once when it comes to these individuals, It's long gone. It's long gone. For example, what they say about D in Salinas Valley, which I'm going to touch on soon. He has his pointers, his mesa, his little goon squad. Stand outside canteen and start clipping people. A la brava. No more, hey homie, could you kick down? You know, but for the kitty, nah. You're kicking down for his locker. So tell me, what honor is in that, man? You want to go from being a gangster to following a Tecato's rules and regulations, which what that means is everything's gonna circle back to his pocket, to his vena, and if not, I dispensa, pero you gotta kick rocks. Just be smart. Pero bueno, mi gente, I'm concluding this here. I hope I made sense. Again, disculpen, I'm just not 100% well. But as always, I send my love, my prayers, and as always, stay true to yourself, loyal to loved ones. You know, life is beautiful. You could always do what you have to do for your barrio, and then start putting in the work for yourself and for your family. Buenas noches, mi gente.